She suddenly knelt before him, and the human had no idea why. The first thing Michael noticed about the alien city was how silent it felt. Not the kind of silence that meant peace, but the heavy, watchful kind, like the moment before a predator pounced. He stood in the center of the Grand Plaza of Erevan, a human ambassador fresh off the shuttle. The air shimmered faintly, as if the heat of distant suns bent the light, and the towering crystal spire surrounding him seemed to hum with some energy he couldn't quite name. Around him, crowds of tall, silver-skinned Athelians had gathered, their luminous eyes fixed on him. Michael wasn't sure whether this was the start of a diplomatic meeting or an alien trial. The guide who had brought him, a young Athelian woman named Saori, walked 2 paces ahead. She was silent, her long white hair flowing like a river of light behind her. When she finally stopped, they were directly in front of the tallest spire, its base guarded by 6 armored sentinels. And then, without warning, Saori dropped to her knees. Her hands pressed to the ground, head bowed so low her forehead touched the polished surface. The crowd reacted instantly, gasps, murmurs, and a ripple of bodies lowering into the same position. Within seconds, hundreds of Athelians were kneeling, all facing Michael. Michael froze. His first thought was that this was some kind of elaborate joke. His second thought, far less comfortable, was that this was an accusation. What's going on? He muttered. Saori didn't move. Do not speak, she said softly, voice trembling. He looked around helplessly. What did I? The nearest sentinel stepped forward, his armor etched with runes that caught the sun. You wear it, the sentinel said, voice deep and resonant. Wear what? The guard pointed to Michael's chest. Michael glanced down at his jacket, specifically the old, battered pendant hanging from his neck. A simple piece of metal, a triangle inside a circle, something he had inherited from his grandfather. This? Michael asked. It's just a family thing. The sentinel's eyes narrowed. It is the seal of Aaron, the mark of the lost one. Michael blinked. Okay, that means nothing to me. But to the Athelians, it clearly meant everything. Saori's voice broke when she spoke again. Only one other has ever borne that seal. The one who saved our world during the War Shadows. A human thousands of cycles ago. Michael's laugh came out awkward and strained. Yeah, I think you got the wrong guy. I've never even been here before today. The crowd whispered, their words like wind through glass. Some looked at him with awe, others with suspicion. Saori finally lifted her head, her eyes glistening. If you truly bear the mark, then you are of his blood. You are the heir of Aaron. Michael took a step back. Look, I'm just an engineer from Earth. I don't even know who this Aaron person is, let alone why I would. A low, thrumming sound interrupted him. It came from the base of the spire, where an ancient stone door slowly slid open, revealing a staircase that spiraled into darkness. The sentinel's voice dropped to a reverent whisper. It awakens for him. The crowd inhaled collectively. No one moved. No one dared. Michael's palms began to sweat. I feel like I should be running in the opposite direction right now. You cannot, Saori said, standing at last. It will not close until you enter. This is the way of the seal bearer. He wanted to protest, but the weight of hundreds of alien eyes made his voice catch. And somewhere deep in his chest, beneath the confusion and fear, something else stirred, a faint, inexplicable pull toward that open doorway. Reluctantly, he followed Saori toward the entrance. The crowd parted in utter silence, heads still bowed. Why are they kneeling? Michael whispered as they walked. Because, Saori said, glancing at him with something between fear and devotion, you are not just a visitor. You are the return of a promise we thought long broken. Michael didn't know how to respond to that. He wasn't a warrior. He wasn't a savior. He was just a man with a pendant and a knack for fixing things. But as they stepped into the darkness of the spire, the door ceiling shut behind them, he couldn't shake the thought that maybe, just maybe, his family heirloom wasn't just an ornament after all. Far above, in the plaza, the Athelians remained kneeling long after he was gone.